Hi there, this is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. I am here today to talk about chakras. So, if you don't know what chakras are energy centers in the body that are basically like spinning discs of plasma that run along your spine. So, if you're not familiar with chakras, this is just going to be a general quick video for you. If you are familiar, then you already know what I'm talking about. And you can jump to probably the next video. But this video is specifically going to be for the 7 main energy centers. It's going to be a very generalized synopsis to walk you through and show you what the chakras are for. And then in each following video, I will break down each specific chakra and how you can stabilize that chakra and kind of attune yourself to know whether you're in balance or not. So it's vital that you balance your chakras, that you're in alignment, because especially if you're going through an ascending process, a lot of trauma will kind of bubble up to the surface, and your chakras are kind of like energy centers that hold a lot of diluents and dimmerants of sorts that basically latch on to your colors. So I will probably refer to chakras as colors in this video just to make it kind of easier so you can visualize it. That just is what helps me understand chakras more versus having some sort of energetic plasmic ball. So if you imagine, I'm going to dive right in. If you imagine your spine as this pen, there are 7 main energy points along your spine. So at the root, at the base and the root is your root chakra. That is the color red. And then as we go up, it will basically be the colors of the rainbow. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then you have white above your head, which is your connection to spirit. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of those, and then if you're interested in learning about a specific chakra, you can click my other videos and I will break down each specific chakra. I'll go into detail about some holistic remedies, some meditative practices and styles that you can do to help balance yourself, other avenues or modalities that you can use to really hone in and focus on how to help yourself elevate with those specific chakras, whichever one you're interested in. And then I'll also go through like tools of divination and crystals and those sorts of things as well. But this video is just going to be a general quick overview. So at the base, there is the root chakra that is symbolized by the red color. So if you've gone through childhood traumas and you have, you've had a hard time having a solid foundation, a solid family homes, things like that, you add, without even realizing it, you add these diluents and dimmerants to your color of red. So think of the color red and you're adding a bunch of black dots or something like that. It makes it all kind of muddied and changes the composition of the color essentially. So that's basically what trauma does to our chakras, and the only way we can do that is with if we cleanse ourselves of those traumas and those things and clear them essentially. So that's the inner work that you have to do here, but this is why I'm here to guide you, to help you, so that way you can have the knowledge and the wisdom to learn and to move forward. So with the root chakra, that is tied to your support system. That could be your family foundation, your friendships, those sorts of things. Typically, for most of us, it's a it's the having the basic necessities, and it's tied to your primal brain. The next one is the orange chakra, which is also called the sacral chakra, and that is basically tied to water. So I don't know if I said that on the root one, but the root is tied to earth, which is pretty predictable. And then the orange is tied to water, which is basically your emotions. So your fun center, your sexual appetite, those sorts of things, those are tied to your sacral chakra, which is symbolized by the orange. Um, let's see. And again, that's tied to water because most of the time, if we are in a spot of pleasure or sexual whatever, then you're going to be tapping into your emotions typically. So the next chakra is the solar plexus, and that is yellow. That has to do with like your will, your free will, but it has to do with your passions and those sorts of things. So the element that is tied to your yellow chakra or your solar plexus is fire. And that is also tied to your ego. Um, this is kind of where empaths and narcissism come into play here. If your solar plexus chakra is too wide open, you might be more so narcissistic leaning, or if it can go both ways though. Even if you're an empath and your solar plexus is wide open, it could be like you're leaning more towards like the toxic empath archetype essentially. So like I'll break down those more specifically in the next video about solar plexus, but that's kind of the general synopsis. So your ego basically lies in your solar plexus, and that is kind of the mid spot, which is kind of like right above your belly button, essentially. And then the next one is the heart chakra, which I think we all have hopefully heard of or read about, but that is symbolized by the green color. And again, just think of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green. Blue is next, but green is the heart. That is the oneness. That is air also. So air is usually tied to mind, and our heart is actually tied to our mind, which I'll get into that a little bit later as well. But the heart chakra is your balance of yin and yang, which is your feminine energy and your masculine energy. And that is tied to oneness. So it's kind of like the heart is the duality, but it's also the full circle. So if you think of the yin and yang symbol, there's two parts of that, but in the end, it makes one whole. So that's essentially what the heart chakra is for. And then the throat chakra, which is symbolized by blue, is tied to your truth. This is your self-expression, this is your communication, this is your writing, this is your creative aspects and how you express yourself to the world, essentially. It can be, through song, it could be through music, it could be through any of the facets of expression, but that is kind of the general purpose of the throat chakra. So if your throat chakra is closed down, you're having a really hard time speaking your truth and being true to yourself. And if it's too wide open, maybe you're just, word vomiting all over everyone. So there's a fine balance there. And then the next chakra is tied to violet or purple color, however you want to present that. But this one is your third eye chakra. So I'll get into a really in-depth video about your third eye, especially if you've been going through a third eye activation, because once you do go through ascension and third eye activation, there's a lot of components to that. And there's also a tiny little crystal inside of our brains that we all have as humans, and even some mammals have them as well, but and some other creatures. But it's important to know whether your third eye is open or not. And the third eye brings insight. So it is also the connector to light, where you might hear of people seeing lights and colors and things, even if their eyes are closed. That is kind of tied to the third eye as well. So there's also, it's basically insight is the short version. But there are things that you can do to help cleanse your third eye and to uncrystallize your pineal gland, which I'll get into that on the next video, but that's kind of the short version of your third eye chakra. And then lastly is the crown chakra, which is top of your head. This is your connection to spirit. A lot of the times it can be, you might see it in a light purple color or a white color if you're looking at a chart. This is essentially thought. This is consciousness. This is collective consciousness also. So this is the connection to spirit, if you believe in spirit or God or whatever your whatever you would like to call it if you have those beliefs. If not, if you're not religious leaning or whatever, totally cool, totally fine. I get it. This is basically the bridge between the worlds of the ether, of the quanta. I mean, these are scientifically proven things, so you know, you don't have to have theology in order to understand the connection of oneness. This is basically tying you into the collective consciousness, and this is this is the infinite awareness that all of us have the ability to connect with, but not all of us are open to receiving it because of a lot of chakra things. So I like to think of the crown chakra as the white, almost like the prism, where if you were to imagine a prism, right, the light comes in through the top of a prism. Let's just visualize that. And then it goes out and it scatters. And then that's when you get the refractions of the light, which is essentially the colors of the rainbow. So we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And that's why I think the crown chakra is super, super important if you're trying to connect to your highest self, if you're trying to elevate yourself or ascend. It is vital in understanding that we all are interwoven. So there's a lot of different clairs that can go into play here as well. So if you are claircognizant, clairvoyant, psychic, medium, all of those things, a lot of the time when people are receptive, they act like transponders to that white light, and they can channel different things out throughout that. So that's kind of a quick overview. I tried to make this video as short as possible, but there's so much information to tuck in here that hopefully this helped you today. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It does help my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. But I am going to work on making another video for you, and then we're going to start at the root chakra, and then I'm going to go through all of them. And there's going to be so much information that hopefully can help guide you out of the darkness here. If you are going through a dark night of the soul, I feel you. It's a rough time to go through sometimes. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and I hopefully can help you find that. But thank you so much for watching. Again, that was the 7 chakras we just went through. We had the root, we have the root, which is red, we have the sacral, which is orange, we have the solar plexus, which is yellow, we have the heart, which is green, the throat chakra, which is blue, the third eye, which is purple, and then the crown chakra, which is white. So hopefully again this helped. If it did, please give me a like, and I will see you at the next video.